Okay, so let's start. I'll show you all the products that you need. Okay, when you start working with resin, of course you'll be needing gloves, either these gloves or work with the plastic gloves. Okay, any gloves would do. Right now I'll just use these surgical gloves. You'll need a weighing machine to measure your resin. Now always remember that you cover your weighing machine with a tissue and then add the cup on top, because if you don't do that, your your measuring machine is going to look exactly like mine, is going to look very dirty. Okay, so do not actually pour it directly. Don't put the cup directly and then pour the resin. Always put a tissue and then add a cup. Okay, and you'll be needing 2 cups, one to mix the clear resin and one to mix the white pigment. I'm going to be creating an ocean resin pour today. So, and I've already created the base. This is a 4-inch MDF base. So basically I'll just show you what have I done. I've just painted this 4-inch MDF base with acrylic paints. So the top part is dark blue and the bottom part is light blue. That's it. I've just painted a normal MDF base, 4-inch MDF base with, you can sell this as coasters or anything. Okay, so it's super easy to create this. So basically this the upper part is dark blue, lower part is light blue. I've just used simple acrylic paints. Okay, I've just used Fevicryl and Fevicryl in ultramarine blue and Fevicryl in light blue. These are the most basic paints that you could get. Okay, and let's start. I'll just wear my gloves. So basically I'll be needing 10 grams uh, of clear resin and 5 grams of hardener. I'll be taking that measurement, okay? Because I know, since I've been using it for so long, I know that I require 15 grams of resin to work on a 4-inch base. So since my resin is 2:1, I'll be using 10 grams of clear resin and 5 grams of hardener, okay? So this is my clear resin. This is part A. So the people who wanted to know the brand, it's An Art Affair and it's part A resin. So I'm going to be always, please always remember this, that take exact ratios, okay? Exact measurements. Do not go, do not be, do not over pour your resin. You have to make sure. So I have to make sure that my resin is 10 grams. So I went a little higher and it became 12. That's okay. 1-2 grams is fine. So now that I've used 12, I'll be using 6 grams of hardener because it's divided in 2:1 ratio, right? So 12 divided by 2, 6. So I'll be using 6 grams of hardener. Like I said, 1 to 2 grams of discrepancy in the ratio is okay, but make sure that it's always exact, because then it's going to affect your curing time and it's going to affect how it hardens up. Okay, so like many of you all have a problem like why is it bendy, why is it still not cured even after 2-3 days? So that's because you haven't measured it properly, or you haven't mixed it properly, or you haven't waited long enough. Okay, so my resin is ready. I mean, it's not ready yet. I've mixed both the parts and now I'm taking an ice cream stick. You can use an ice cream stick or a silicone spatula, okay? You can use anything. And now all you have to do is just mix your resin. So many artists, you must have heard, if you all have watched YouTube videos or if you all have seen other artists demonstrating this technique, you must have heard that many people say that mix it slowly to avoid the bubbles. So that's right. If you don't have a blowtorch, okay, this is a blowtorch that removes bubbles. You can just pop the bubbles with the blowtorch. If you don't have this, then you can actually mix it slowly. But if you have a blowtorch, then even if you mix faster, it's fine, because at the end of the day, you have a blowtorch to burst the bubbles. So right now, since the resin is in a small quantity, it is feasible for me to mix it slowly. Need to like imagine like you had a lot of resin in quantity. Okay, then it doesn't. It's a very slow, time-consuming process to mix it slowly. So right now, since it's a small quantity, I'm mixing it slowly. And usually, when you pour the two parts of resin, there are two layers that get created. So basically, you have to make sure that when you mix it, there is no layer as such. It's not foggy and it's completely transparent in nature. Like someone asked me, how do you pop bubbles, right? So either you mix it very slowly, or you either use a toothpick to burst the small bubbles, or you use a blowtorch. Blowtorch is the most effective method of just bursting bubbles. So right now I'm just mixing the resin so that it's completely transparent in nature. It's clear and it's not foggy at all. It doesn't have to be. Yes, you can use lighter. Any sort of heat provided to the surface, the artwork, is enough for it to burst the bubbles. So you can use a lighter as well. Okay, so all I did was mix the A part and the B part, okay, in 2:1 ratio. So basically I used 12 grams of clear resin and I used 6 grams of hardener. Put it in the cup and all I'm doing is mixing it, okay, till the point that is clear. So let me just check. So now I can see that it's completely transparent and there are no layers formed, and now it's ready to work with. Okay, you have to mix it. Please tell all this and what have you mixed. I didn't get it. Khushi, what didn't you get? I mixed a part of clear resin. This was 12 grams. You all can take a screenshot of this if you all want. A part A of clear resin, which was 12 grams, and part B of hardener in 6 grams, because my ratio is 2:1. So 12 divided by 2, 6. So 6 grams of hardener and 12 grams of clear resin. I used a measuring scale. I weighed both the resin, clear resin and hardener in grams, and then I just mixed it. That's it. Okay, so it's done. Now always remember, don't directly keep your surface right on the surface and start working. Like as you can see, my surface is covered with plastic, so it's not going to spoil the wood that's below it. So do not directly keep it on the surface and start working. Always put it on a height. So basically I'll be using a cup. This is a used cup, okay? So you just need it to level it and to keep it on a higher surface. Okay, so all I did was keep it on a higher surface. And I forgot to mention this, you'll be requiring a white pigment, white resin pigment for the waves. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour the resin, the clear resin that I made on this particular surface. I'll see whether it's in the middle, the surface, and then let's start pouring. Let's pour it in small quantities and keep spreading it. Don't over pour it, because then what will happen is the resin is going to overflow and is going to drip. And you must have seen, like, as important as the front is, the back is also as important, because what will happen is the drips will form. I'll show you what drips are. So drips are basically this. Can you see this? These are resin drips. Okay, these are resin drips. Basically, when you over pour the resin drips are formed. So right now I'm just pouring it in small quantities. Do always remember, pour it in small quantities only and keep spreading it till the time your entire base is covered with clear resin. Spread it carefully. Like right now when I'm actually spreading it, right, I can't see any bubbles because already the quantity was less, and I mixed it quite slowly. So there are no bubbles as such. So I don't even need to use the blowtorch. Okay, so it's almost done. I've almost covered the entire surface in clear resin. Now what you'll be doing is you'll be taking the leftover resin and creating a white base, okay? A white resin pigment. So always remember the colors that you use should be resin pigments only. Don't use acrylic colors. If you are beginners and you don't want to invest, then only go for acrylic colors. But otherwise, just use resin pigments that are available from different brands. Okay, so I'm using a different cup. I'm pouring the resin. I'll pour just a bit of resin and then take a different ice cream stick. Don't dip the same ice cream stick that was in the clear resin. Use a new ice cream stick, and I'll be taking this white, it's epoch pigment. It's a resin pigment. It's a resin opaque pigment. I'll be taking a small pinch of white. Can you see? It's a very small pinch. Okay, that's it. That is all I will need. I'll just close this and just mix it in this resin. The resin, leftover resin, okay, that I poured in the new cup. Now with this, remember that you mix it vigorously, because you don't want a scenario in which you have uh, yeah, you're right, liquid and powder. There are many types of pigments which I'll be elaborating on in the next session, but you're right, liquid and powder, both sort of pigments are used. There are many sort of pigments that are available in the market, and this is just one of them. So basically I've mixed it till the time I can see that the entire color is changed to white. And make sure you mix it thoroughly, because you don't want lumps of white color. I didn't understand your question. It means color. I didn't understand. Can you clarify what you meant by that? So basically I mixed it. Now what I'll be doing is, adding a line. So obviously resin is abstract, like I said, you won't be able to create a straight line. Just create a line as of now, which let it go all wobbly. It's okay. And since you all are beginners, I'm just using a straw. You all won't be having all the equipments right now. So if you want to quickly create, yes, yes, it means opaque pigment, which gives color to transparent resin. Yes. So right now I'm just using a straw to blow this white pigment in front. That's all I need to do to create waves, and you can easily create a coaster. This is like the most beginner friendly way of making waves. Yora haven't even used the blowtorch or any other equipments. All I've used is simple equipment that can be easily available at your place as well. So if you want to start practicing, you can easily practice using this method. I'm adding another wave, okay, on top. Same way, just add a line over the clear resin and just blow it with a straw. And that's it. That's all you have to do to create your resin ocean piece. And this I'll just show you a close-up. Do you all have any doubts so far? Like, if you want, you can actually use the blowtorch. I don't require it, so I'm not using it. But you could use a blowtorch if you have bubbles. Let me just remove my phone. I'll just show you all. So even though I haven't used any sort of mediums, there are still cells that are coming in. Can you see small cells? Right.